Okay, well, we got a nice little crowd here. Looks like we'll pack this in a little bit more. Okay, well, hey, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming to another one of our Baltimore Tech Breakfasts. We're now a little over a year into it, and looks like we're growing like weeds. And what do you guys think of the new venue, huh? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. The DLA folks have been wonderful. It's a convenient location for many of us. Hopefully for most of you, this is a little bit more convenient for those coming north of the city-ish. There's parking. Did everybody find parking? Yeah. The only thing that I mentioned is if anybody's parked like immediately right in front of the entrance to DLA, they just requested that we leave that open for their actual customers. So if you're parked right in front where it says visitor parking right in the front, just make sure to move yourself, give themselves a few spots. There's a nice big parking spot, nice big parking lot right up the streetway. We don't want to wear out our welcome too much. So I see that, Gloria. When you get a moment. Well, cool. We have an awesome one. For those of you, how many people here have been to a Baltimore Tech Breakfast before? Oh yeah, look at you all, you regulars. That's great. How many of you are, this is new? This is your first time? Why am I raising my hand? Oh, it's the same people. Wow, you guys are eager to raise. People are eager to raise your hands, which is pretty interesting. Well, the way that this works is this is basically a great showcase for all the cool, innovative, and emerging things happening in tech in Baltimore. It's probably the easiest way to describe what we're doing here. And the format is we have 6 different sets of people come up, show off their thing, their technology. The reason why I don't want to call it a pitch, because it's not really a pitch. This is really just an opportunity for them to show off what they're doing. It's what's called a showcase. I like to think of it as show and tell for adults. And hopefully they've got 7 minutes to do their thing, and then there's 3 minutes of interaction with the audience. And yeah, hopefully it'll be excitement to you. And then after every 2 showcases we run, we do this thing called a 5-minute shout out, where we have a couple of mics. We don't have stands, but I have a mic up here, and there's like a table back there with a mic on it. And basically anybody can sort of queue up and say whatever they want to say about, they got something to sell, they're doing something, they're looking to hire somebody, whatever. This is your opportunity to let the pressure out, say what you have to say, and that is another way of introducing yourself to everybody in case you want to get something very specific out of the networking opportunity here. But we try to keep this nice and friendly and loose and really not to have too many expectations. Trying to keep your expectations low. So first I want to thank our sponsors. DLA Piper has provided this space. We want to thank them. They're around. There's a few of those DLA folks here, so thank you all guys so much. We also have a couple of other sponsors. Merrill Lynch is one of our financial sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have breakfast. I know Andrew couldn't make it this morning. Was anybody else? Is John here from Merrill? No? Okay, I think he's out this morning as well. And also the folks from Bowie and Jensen have been very fortunate to give us a bit of financial support to make this happen. I'll give them a few seconds here. There you go. You can sing your song. Or.
I will. I don't have a new little song ditty prepared, but my name is Pamela Rewerts. I'm an attorney at Bowie and Jensen. Our offices are located on the edge of Baltimore and Towson. We also have an office in New York City. We have several areas of law that we practice. Transactional, if you're setting up a corporation, need agreements. We also practice employment law, and then also intellectual property, patents, trademarks, and copyrights. So if you have any questions, feel free to come over and ask. Otherwise, check out our website. It's www.bowie-jensen.com. Thanks a lot.
Great. And we have a nice little crew here providing video. This is the Open Range video, folks. And I know David's around here. And we want to thank them so much for providing videos. We have archival here that as proof that stuff does happen in Baltimore. So tell us a little bit about what you guys are up to.
Thanks very much. It's good to see everybody this morning. I just want to introduce my partner over there, Hiro Amano, playing the funky cart, and he does a good job. So everybody, this is just a quick pitch. Sorry, not a showcase here. I want to leave you with a quick snippet of information. According to Cisco Systems, between now and 2016, you're going to see about 1.5 billion video users online around the world. That's going to be up from about 792 million right now. So that's a lot of people out there doing business online. So you know open range video. We do web video. We do webcasting. I'm around locally. Feel free to give me a call. We can talk about being your partner in coming up with a very effective video solution for your company. Okay, thanks. Good to see you, and we'll see you around whenever.
Great. And of course, when you find the video, you're going to see Open Range Video will have their logo and information on our archival, and it'll be up on the Open Range Video YouTube channel, and eventually we'll get our own channel for that too. AOL has provided space for us in the past. We used to be at the advertising.com location. Paris, if you know Paris Pittman, she was supposed to be here this morning manning our badge booth, and I think she might have gotten stuck, so hopefully she'll come in. She'll be in at some point. She may actually give you some badges. One of the things that we're doing is we're trying to keep track of where you all are coming from, and I'll show you some of the interesting results. We did a little bit of mapping to show where all of you are coming from, where you live, where you work. If you haven't had a chance to answer the questions, we've got 2 questions in the profile now. Just what zip code of where you live, what zip code of where you work. It's going to help us make sure that we continue to have these events in convenient locations. Otherwise, we were thinking on a boat on the eastern shore. Maybe if you guys can make that, let me know. All right, so I'm sure I have more announcements. Restrooms, if you haven't found them, you go out and you go around the corner and you go down the hallway that's before the elevators. There's this white hallway, and there's a door that says men's. If you're feeling inclined to use the male restroom, use that one. If you're feeling inclined to use the women's restroom, use that one. If you're Scottish and it's got a picture of a kilt, you'll have to figure out which one you want to use. All right, so without further ado, how are we doing on time? I think Monica is up next. Yes, we're running a little bit long. So, Monica, I think you're around here somewhere. I saw you back there somewhere. There you are. We have our first showcase. So, entertain and educate. You can use these 2 ones up here.
Can I move?
Yeah, just let me off there.
Okay, the average time that it takes for a single drug is 15 years, and it takes $106 million for a new drug to make it to market. Over the course of this time, the 15 years, the process can be divided into 2 sections, drug discovery and drug delivery. Drug discovery takes about 6.5 years, and drug delivery 8.5 years. Drug discovery consists of what's normally known as research and development and preclinical testing, and this includes drug screening, in vitro testing, and animal testing. Drug development contains the process of FDA trials and human trials, and then the R&D process is very expensive and an iterative process. So we think that with computational tools, we can reduce the time to market by 10%, which would end up with a savings of $80 to $100 million. So my name is Monica Berrondo, and I started MacroMoltek to address the high cost of R&D by creating computational tools that help scientists to develop new antibody therapeutic drugs. The process of drug discovery, which is what we focus on, starts by selecting a target of interest. Once you've selected a disease that you want to target, you have to identify the cell, protein, or molecule that's responsible for the disease. Once that's been selected, the target is screened against thousands of molecules to find ones that bind tightly and selectively. If you take all of those molecules and optimize them further, you end up with a smaller number of compounds, and then you can take those and iterate over to find one with the best binding. So the evolution of pharmaceutical industry has taken us from small molecules that are synthesized chemically to large molecules that are thousands of atoms and are synthesized biologically. So penicillin is a well-known small molecule antibiotic. Diabetes affects up to 1 in 10,000 people worldwide, and is treated using synthetically produced insulin. Insulin is an example of a molecule that has been turned into a drug that comes from proteins that are found in our body. A special class of proteins that are successful in treating very aggressive diseases such as cancer and autoimmune diseases are called antibodies. Breast cancer, some types of breast cancer arise when the HER2 protein on the surface of breast cells is defective, causing those cells to reproduce uncontrollably. Herceptin is a synthetic antibody drug that has been created to treat breast cancer by targeting those proteins on the cells and stopping the reproduction of cancerous cells. An antibody forms this Y shape, and from the previous slide, that was the binding site, which is shown in yellow. And the partner of an antibody is called an antigen. Antibodies make great therapeutic agents because of their ability to select a single, very specific antigen out of the thousands of proteins that are found in the human body. So I want to go through and give an analogy for how we can use computational tools to effectively help drug discovery. So if you want to compute the square root of 2012 by hand, use an equation called the Newton-Raphson, an iterative algorithm called the Newton-Raphson method. So taking the following equation, you plug in your guess and use that to iterate over and over until you find a solution that has converged. So for this example, we're going to pick 30 as our starting point, plug it into the equation, and that gives us this approximation. Solving for the value, we get a new value of 48.53. So now we iterate through a number of times until we converge. In this case, after 5 iterations, we've converged to 44.85. So now that you've seen what it's like to compute the square root by hand, this could all have been done very simply using a calculator. So imagine doing this thousands and thousands of times, and each step causing you thousands of dollars. So that is what our solutions do, is address the need for drug discovery by providing computational tools that help scientists by taking the iterative process of testing and design and replacing some of the steps with mathematical algorithms to guide their experiments. And this saves companies millions of dollars. So one of the first steps is to predict the structure of an antibody. MacroMoltek focuses on antibody solutions to help with the design, development, and analysis of antibodies, and our software is available online through an online workspace. Predicting the structure of the antibody can be done experimentally, but it's very difficult and costly. So what we do is, through our workspace, we provide tools that allow you to upload the sequence of the unique sequence of an antibody and predict its unique structure. Antibodies are also generally produced in mice. So if you were to take a mouse antibody and inject it into a human, at best, the body would reject that antibody, and at worst, it would cause the patient to get more sick. So one of the important steps in creating a therapeutic is to humanize these antibodies. Humanization refers to taking the mouse portions, the important portions of the mouse antibody, and grafting them onto a human antibody. So we're developing tools to address this and do the antibody humanization process computationally. We've also partnered with a company in Columbia, Maryland that will help us with testing the software. The antibody industry is a part of the larger biologics therapeutic market that has shown dramatic growth over the past 5 years. And antibodies are typically produced by biotech companies such as Genentech, Genzyme, and Cephalon. And more recently, pharmaceutical companies have started to either develop their own biologics departments or buy out these companies and to grow up their biologics departments. To date, there are over 800 companies worldwide that are looking to develop new antibody therapeutics. And our main competition are academic groups, scientific software companies, and tools that are developed in-house at pharmaceutical companies. Our main advantages over these companies are that we have focused on the antibody problem from the start, and we provide our services online. By providing our software as a service, we're able to target small biotech companies that may not have the computational resources to perform these calculations. So with that, I'd like to thank you for coming and thank Ron for inviting me and for organizing the tech breakfast.
Cool. So I had the benefit of seeing your app at the there's a JavaScript meetup, and one of the things that was really cool was that your app is a web app that's all written in JavaScript, right?
Well, so we have a bunch of different tools. Most of it is back-end, and all the calculations are performed on the back end. But what we do is provide a way, so the molecules that are produced are these like really complicated molecules that you need software to actually visualize. So what we've done is also one of our products is a web-based JavaScript application where you can view those directly in your web page. So once you get back your solution, you can pull it up directly on the website instead of having to download the file in order to view it. And it's all three-dimensional, so you can like move it around and see how where exactly your binding site is that you're looking for.
Cool. All right, a little too early for calculus in the morning. Good thing you had a calculator there, that's good. Let's start with some comments, criticisms, questions, complaints, kumquats. Don't make me cucumbers. I can keep going. Anybody? No? Yes. And there's a microphone back there too. I'll try to get that corner.
I recall this before. I forget various, I think 10 years ago. Something that's vaguely like this. So yours is probably different because it's specialized in antibodies?
Yeah, most companies that that have worked on software for similar, like for drug discovery, look at small molecules and those interactions with proteins. There are very few software packages at all that deal with these large, complex molecules. And antibodies are kind of what the focus has been over the last 2 years. So it's very new.
Great. Is there another one back here? Yes.
I was just curious about some of the technical aspects of your solution, kind of what code you're using, how big it is, how long it's been in development, how many people you have working on it, those kind of things.
Okay, so let's see. All the like complex algorithms are in C#, which is run on the back end. And the code is, I don't know, tens of thousands of lines. It's pretty big. It does a lot of computations and a lot of iterations of algorithms. And I have another programmer that does more like the overarching view, and then a scientific algorithm developer that helps actually just come up with the algorithms, and then I code those into the C#.
So there's 3 of you?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Oh, and we started, it took about a year to write most of this. So we started about a year ago with the actual writing.
Good stuff. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much, Monica. Good job. I guess, Casey, you're up next. Great, so while we're swapping around here. Okay, yep, that was good. It's good, keep you all thinking, get those brains cranking in the morning. Okay, everybody, quick quiz. What was the square root of 2012? Everybody remember? 45 point something. There you go. Okay, someone was paying attention. If there's one thing you learned today, it's the square root of 2012. Okay. All right, now Casey, we'll switch it up a little bit. I think we're going to change gears.
Yeah, this is not scientific at all. Those scientists might enjoy this at the end of a day. Hi, I'm Casey Hopson with Hahler, and since early morning is the theme, and I know it's early in the morning, but how many of you like to drink alcohol? Just raise your hand. Yeah, that's great. Well, if you like alcohol, Hahler's the place for you. We had a nice write-up in the Examiner the other day, and the writer put it perfectly. If you take Twitter and Foursquare and Facebook and Instagram and you put it in a blender and served it as a cocktail, you would get Hahler. So at the heart of Hahler is our virtual liquor store. And our virtual liquor store has 2 components, a visual library of the drinks that have been uploaded by our users to the system, and a liquor database of over 80,000 liquors. So when you start typing in what you're drinking, it pre-populates it like Google. we've just gone into beta just a couple weeks ago, so we're very early in the stages, and we've been getting our users through Twitter accounts, including Hahler Girl, which is my wife over there, and Hahler Girl has 1,750 followers as of this morning, and they're all liquor people, and they've been checking out the site for us. So the whole time we've been writing this for about a year, we've been building up these followers. We wrote liquor stories. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see links to our stories. But so that was kind of a cool thing doing all that, because while we were writing the software, we were bringing users, prospective users to the system. People can get in, log in with a Twitter Connect, which already a lot of people are doing that. Otherwise, you need a invitation to join. So if you want to go right in, just use Twitter Connect. And we're also working on Facebook Connect. Once you're logged in, it takes you straight to our liquor store, and you could put in a drink and search on the drink. Well, just do Bud. Everybody likes Bud, and Bud comes up. And if you like that drink, you could like it, or you could click on drink, and I'll just put in something. I'll say too early for this. And you can post it to Twitter, and I'll post a link to it. And this takes you to our Hahler feed page, and it's what people have been posting to the site. So we have our drinks. I posted a couple things. There's some weird drinks someone from Europe posted last night. Looks very interesting, and so forth. The way you can upload your drinks, you can basically is what we call Hahler, and you can upload it from a file or from a URL. So if you got a website, you can just put in the link, and it previews the images a la Pinterest, and then you pick the one you want to upload, and then you do what I just did with the drink. You Hahler it and you post it to the feed. Once you pick a drink, it also puts it in your bar. So you have your own virtual bar. So if you just pound down Bud a lot, you could just go to your bar and click on drink and knock it down. And if you wanted to do a new post, we have our liquor check-in, and it does a lot of pre-populating and all that kind of stuff. So I can just say drinking down I like this beer. So we'll just do that. And then you saw our little database there. And then once more, if you holler that, it's going to post it and put it on Twitter and so forth. The feed, the other things you can do with the feed is if you like somebody, you click on the name, and they're a party animal. You can see what they've been drinking. And you can make them a party animal, and then they're like your Twitter following. And of course, you can drink their stuff, and the drinking can be like a communication. So if you like the drink, I just say a beautiful bottle, whatever. And one of the things we learned about looking at all the site is how beautiful these liquor images are. They're just gorgeous. And so I could just say, and then we started a little conversation there. So I guess it's like a wink. Also, and this is a popular feature, one of our hypotheses is that people who like alcohol don't just think about alcohol in the evening, but think about it during the day. And we found that we get a surprising amount of activity early on a Monday morning. So after that first meeting, they're already thinking about drinks. So the I need a drink is, well, this is a good one. I plan to drink after work because it's Monday. Yeah, that's a good thing. So we try to pre-populate and give people some teasers on what's going on, and then we also have notifications and profiles and upload. We can with the Twitter Connect and the Facebook Connect. You'll be able to upload your image from Twitter or Facebook and post to it, and so forth. And like I said, we just went into beta, and right now we're going real slow. We're just kind of getting the users, trying to figure out what users like, don't like, and get that down till we have something that we think really kind of cooks. And then I'll think about taking it to the next stage. So we're taking our time with beta. The next things we have in line is We're going to have a virtual send a drink, which is an image of your drink, and you'll send it to a friend, and also some contests. So you could do something like Jack Daniels versus Johnny Walker, and people can go in and vote on it. I think it's going to be really cool. And I'm looking at doing some Instagram integration, so we're just going to kind of keep this thing going. And that's kind of my general overview of things.
Well, great. Good. So the entrepreneur in me is thinking, it's like, okay, well, what's the business opportunity? What's the business model? And I'm sure you have thought about a lot of iterations of this, probably during or after drinks. And it's been like around, I would imagine if you're giving people basically the opportunity, you're creating a community around alcoholic beverages, basically, and maybe even around very, very specific ones, like people really, really like their specific tequilas or whatever. Have you gone out to the beverage manufacturers and said, look, can we do this thing where, if they tweet about you, they get a drink, maybe they get some sort of coupon or some sort of exchange, they could take that, they could redeem it at a bar, and so it gives them all of this marketing, they get all these people tweeting about like these drinks and like building up demand, and then they can go and and it's worth it for the people to do it, not just because they like the drinks, but they also get rewards. Have you sort of approached the manufacturers and looked at revenue that way?
I need a little drink before I answer your question. Yeah.
All right, the Monday morning drink.
Yeah.
I hope is that allowed here at DLA Piper? I don't know. Did you sign the waiver? I don't know. I didn't sign it.
So it's just water. So yeah, we've been thinking about along those lines. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think my main thing is trying to figure out how to get people to use the system. I think we've got a lot of ways we could do to generate revenue, but if we can't get people using the system, we ain't going to be able to do anything. So I want to first get to the point where I think people are using it. I have a little luxury. I didn't go out and get venture capital, so I have time to figure out what works. And then there's things along your lines we could do. We got the sponsored links when the people type in Google, and I think if we got enough following, we could do almost like a Groupon thing with liquor stores and things like that. So my first step is just to get people using the system, and then kind of go from there. If people aren't using the system, I don't have a business. So
okay, all right. Let's spread the cheer here. Okay.
Good morning. Thanks for that. Joe, just quick recap. MacroMoltek, your development, they fold proteins in space, rotating three-dimensional. Hahler, your development, you find me a shot of Jaeger.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Awesome. Where do I sign up? That's awesome.
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
No, so the question.
I guess I'm drinking too early.
So the question is, no. So again, getting back to the idea. So one of the things that's kept alcoholic beverage companies off Twitter so far is that they can't age gate. They can't really confirm, the age of people they're communicating with. Are you trying to pitch to them that, hey, we're the solution that can age gate for Twitter?
Yeah. We do have. We are kind of, the age thing is, we do a 21 check, and obviously Facebook, we can use some of their information to do that. So that has come up, and we're kind of working. That's definitely at the back of a lot of things we're doing.
Yep. Good. Comment. It's okay. Comments are good too. Not to be questions.
Yeah, insults. Whatever works for you.
I call them criticisms.
Hi. Have you heard of or considered an integration with Untapped?
Oh, Untapped.
Yeah, I've heard of Untapped. Untapped's the only company that I'm really aware of that does anything like this. I think we're going off in kind of a wilder direction. Untapped is very focused on the craft beer market, which is fine, and they seem to be just, their users are the craft beer types, and we're not. I think we're more going to be a hard liquor wine crowd, I think. So I think we're going in a different direction with the images and all that, and some of the contests. So I just think we're going in a different direction.
Yeah.
Are you going to be developing your own autocorrect algorithm once people have thrown back a few?
Here, actually.
I'm not quite sure what you mean, but in terms of all that, what we do want to develop is a good feedback loop. You wouldn't believe how many new liquors are coming out every week. I mean, people are just cranking this stuff out. We got 80,000 liquors, and I'm constantly typing that out. So we do want to have a kind of a feedback loop where we can get the liquors that people are bringing in and update our database. I think the database itself, we want to get to the point where the database itself has some value. So I hope that answers your question.
Yep, back there.
Casey, what about a lounge with a live chat?
Yeah, that's definitely something we're holding in the back of mind. Initially, I wanted to kind of do something kind of like a Zynga drinking bar thing, but we don't have enough game talent, programming talent in-house to do that, but I'd love to go somewhere in that direction.
Great. Back here. Thanks.
How about mobile? You know, I would find myself more likely to be on my phone than in front of a computer.
Yes, that's a great question, and I think once we kind of get a feel, because obviously web development's a little cheaper than mobile. Once we get a feel for how people are using the system, then I think we'll make a mobile push. But it's a lot cheaper to figure out what people want on the web before pushing over. Also, I don't want to shoot our wad. You got with mobile, and you got a lousy product, then you kind of blown it. I'd rather have worked out all the issues and then go mobile.
Yes, have you thought about studying behavior? I mean, that would be an interesting means to study, drinking behavior and demographics. Get with some college professor or something.
Oh, that's going to be very much at the heart of tracking everything. Is very much at the heart of this. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see some of the behaviors.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we had someone have a drink because he was going to a funeral yesterday. So, All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
everybody.
guys. Thank you. That's good. Well, I'd like to say thank you, DLA. It was great having us here, but I pretty much killed it. Okay, no, I'm joking. Oh, great. So we are, what we have now, while the next one gets set up, I forget who's third up on the docket. Is it Nate with TeamGantt? Were you fourth? Okay, that's you. That's right, Authntk. Okay, great. So while we do that, what we do now is we take a little bit of a stretching break, and then we have this thing called the 30-second shout-out. So usually there are like podiums here. So what I'm going to set up a mic here and back there. This is an opportunity for someone who's like, if you have an announcement to make, you're looking to hire somebody, you're looking to sell something, you're looking to raise money, whatever. You got your 30 seconds here. Stand up. Who wants to get us started with something? Well, then I'll get us started. I'm Ron Schmelzer. I'm at Bazzello.
Oh, please.
No, here, I'm giving this to you next.
Hi, I'm Bob Graham, CEO of Bigger Pie Strategies, a marketing company. What I do is help folks like you connect with your ideal audience, the people that want to use what you're creating. Thank you.
Great. Nice and short. Good pitch. You're working on it. You're a marketing guy. I'm Ron Schmelzer. I'm at Bazzello. We are building a set of applications for small businesses focused on the back operations. Our apps are under $30 a month, and we're looking for developers, especially JavaScript and PHP. So if you have anything around that, please come to me.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Joe Ford, CPSI. We're an IT staffing company. Actually looking for candidates with Juniper firewall experience, at least 3 years. If you know of anybody who's looking for work, I'm looking for Juniper firewall. Thanks.
Great. Good.
Hi, I'm Matt Horn with Edge Web Hosting. We're based in downtown Baltimore. We have a full data center and host mission-critical applications for high availability. We work with Fortune 100 companies as well as 1- and 2-man startups. And we focus on Cold Fusion, .NET, and Java support and hosting. So if anybody would like to speak with me, has questions about how to put together a configuration, HIPAA, PCI compliance, we design and handle all of that. Been in business for over 14 years, very well recommended and reviewed in the industry. So my name's Matt. Again, it's edgewebhosting.com. Thank you.
Special offer for Baltimore Tech breakfast attendees? Sure. I know how to work it. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jason King. I'm president of Excella. We do web and mobile development. Web, we mostly do open source software development. And then on the mobile side, any type of mobile web and native application development, iPhone apps, Android apps. So if you need any custom development done, come talk to me. Thanks.
Great.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian James Kirk. I'm actually on a field trip from Philadelphia. This is awesome to see. This is Andrew Zaleski. He is a Baltimore native, And I've co-founded a site called Technically Philly. We've covered the technology community in Philadelphia for 3 years, and we are very quietly, well, it's hard to be quiet in here, soft launching in Baltimore. So be on the lookout. Andrew's our new reporter. We'll be doing as much coverage as possible, and look out for that content in 2 weeks at technicallybaltimore.com.
Great. Rumor has it there's somebody here from Baltimore Business Journal as well, somewhere, maybe? Somewhere. That was just a rumor. Spreading that myself. Go ahead, Eli.
You guys probably know. I'm Eli, the computer guy. If you guys want to get your information out to the national or the international audience, one of the things I started doing was a daily talk show, and I'm getting about 50 to 70 concurrent viewers and about 1,500 to 2,000 after recording viewers. So I gave a shout out to Hahler, and apparently they actually got some users off of that. So if you're interested, if you have a web product or something you just want to be talked about, I need stuff to fill up 2 hours, so I'll be more than happy to talk about it. And then also, I put this out on one of the boards, any of the recruiters who would like to be my recruiter person, obviously in this day and age, the main thing people are asking about is jobs. So I would be more than happy to have like one recruiter and say, hey, my recruiter guy at XYZ said this is what you should be learning. So.
Great. And Eli is a guy that gives, so without necessarily asking, so please take advantage of him. Yes, good. I say take good use of.
Hi, I'm Rob McDonald. I'm the BBJ guy that he just referred to. Thank you. And I read a column of Baltimore business leaders who have gone through some type of transformation. So if you have experienced hardship in your career as a business leader, as so many of us have, and you would like to tell your story, I'd like to hear it. My name is Rob McDonald of Baltimore Business Journal. Please see me afterwards. Thanks.
Great. Yeah. Rumors. Good.
Hi, my name is Nitin Agarwal. I'm the CEO of MotiveWorks. We are a partner in emerging technologies and innovation for business problem solvers. We are a technology company and help companies to take their mobile product, web product to the market faster, quicker, in a less cost and effective way. If you are looking for any help in innovation and emerging technologies, please contact MotiveWorks. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to have a second round of this stuff coming up now that you all know how it works. If you have nothing else to say, then I'll fill it up. So we're on to
All right.
Len.
Thank you, Ron. I've got my timer here, so you have to come jumping in. Good morning. Thanks for having us. My name is Len Ostroff. I'm one of the co-founders of Authntk, and we're a social video marketing platform with a dash of private label video hosting thrown in. So the premise for Authntk is that we think that video is the new text. And you heard it earlier today that the number of video viewers on the web are going to go to 1.5 billion or some enormous number. I'm going to guarantee that everybody in here has watched a web video. It's more engaging, it's more convincing, and it's more emotive than text. But consumer-generated media is not just about dancing cats or babies falling out of their high chair. It's used every day for business purposes. So whether that is testimonials, and anybody who has a website, what's the most important thing that you can put up there to gain credibility? Probably a testimonial. Getting those, most of them are textual. Getting those in videos is not a particularly easy process. We help streamline that. So what we do is capture the customer's passion. So whether it's a testimonial, whether it's a customer story, whether it is a case study, we have clients using us internally now for training videos, all sorts of things that are not necessarily professionally produced. And this type of earned media is most trusted by consumers. And now with Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social methods for getting your word out there, it is really video is the way to gain credibility with your clients. So what we provide is this end-to-end solution for consumer-generated media management. Busy slide. So what I'd rather do is just jump into the technology. So the way we've built Authntk is with both big companies and small companies in mind. So an agency can use Authntk, and they can manage multiple companies, and those companies can have multiple campaigns. Each campaign, we consider one question. So we handle everything from landing page management all the way through hosting and deployment. So what I'm going to do is quickly run through what it's like to set up a campaign in Authntk. So you're now inside the Authntk admin portal, and I just simply name the campaign with free-form text, and I determine what the URL string is going to be. The name of this company is Demo, and to make things even more confusing, I've actually named the campaign Demo. So, and I upload a logo, Baltimore Tech Breakfast, and I can define the maximum length that somebody can record a video with their webcam, or they can also upload their video off of their desktop. And then I ask a question. What did you think of this month's Baltimore Tech Breakfast? And this is something you want to put onto the site? Love to have it. And some subtext. And there are some T's and C's here. If you want to use our terms and conditions, which say you own the video, you can use it however you want, great. Otherwise, if you have persnickety lawyers, you can type in yours. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And that'll generate this URL, which I'll open here. And again, this is dynamically generated, so if I come back in here and I want to change the question to really make certain that people know this is a question with a bunch of extra question marks, I can save that, and the page will be dynamically updated. So as a visitor to the page, I'm presented with some branding, and of course, all the color scheme is customizable, as well as two tabs. I can record a video with my webcam, or I can upload a video I've already recorded. I'm going to go ahead and upload a video I've recorded. I simply choose the file, go out to my desktop, grab a file, click upload. We'll see how quick the Wi-Fi is here. Looks like it's uploaded, and then I type in my information. These fields in our next release, which will be Friday, are completely customizable. So we can have first name, last name, as well as customized fields you can label yourself. I'm going to type my information in. Len Authentic, BTB is awesome. Agree to the terms and conditions and hit submit. Once I hit submit, an email is generated to the administrator that says, hey, Len Authentic just submitted a video for the demo campaign. Click here to go view it. I can also upload a video or record a video with my webcam. I've got some terms, some recording tips, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. And now I'm really going to scare everybody because there I am on screen. And I won't make this too big. And I'm going to go ahead and record. You can see that we've got flashing recording, just like a studio that says, hey, you're recording the video. And there's a countdown timer. Oops. Countdown timer that shows you how much time I have. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop so you don't want to hear me blather on for another 20 seconds. And it shows me I've recorded the video. Now I can review it. If I know I messed up, I can immediately re-record it, or I can play it back. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I'm just going to go ahead and hit submit. It's going to cache my information. I'm going to write, this is my webcam video. Hit submit, and again, the emails are generated to the administrator. What we're going to have, and it's on my phone right now, we're going to have a mobile app probably going live on Monday, which is going to be really awesome because now our clients can go into the field and capture video from their clients at the point of excitement. So if you're an event company, you can capture on the event floor. If you're a tour company, we just got Hawaii Discover Hawaii Tours as a client. They want to use it when somebody gets out of that raft to capture that video right then and there, upload it into Authntk. So now we've got the video into the platform. I'm going to try and move quickly here to stay on schedule. I'm going to go into my video tab, and it's going to show me the videos are processing. So these videos are now being coded. They're being coded to MPEG-4, as well as H.264, so they'll run on iOS devices, they'll run obviously in Flash, and they'll run on the web, etc. This takes anywhere from a minute to 3 minutes, just depends on what's in the queue. You can see I can also, and unfortunately they're not finished encoding yet, but they should be shortly. Let's see if they're done now. So the first one's finished. I can go ahead and review this video. This is the one that I uploaded. And of course the quality's lousy because I wanted to use a small file. I can go ahead and edit the metadata as well. So I can say this is the upload, save it, and you'll see that the overlay is automatically updated. I then want to go into, before I go ahead and approve this video, so we have moderation built in, because not all consumer-generated media is fit for going out on the web, right? As we all know. So I go into my player, and this is one of the really cool things about Authntk is that we've got this dynamic player. So if you guys can see, inside this dashed line here, these are placeholders for the Authntk Dynamic Player because every startup needs a cool 3-letter acronym. So this is our ADP. And we can change the size of the videos dynamically. We can change the size of the player dynamically. And simply embedding this code onto the web page means that you never have to touch the code again once the videos have been deployed. So to keep things on schedule, I'm going to go ahead and approve this video. This one is still processing. You see it jumps into the Approve tab. I also have an embed for this specific video. I can change the size, etc. And it's now in my player. And the player, just to show you what it looks like once it's live, is embedded onto this site. This is a demo site. You're going to hear from Mark in a few minutes. He's going to do a shout out for his company, ArcPoint Partners. I'm going to hit refresh, and the video is now on the site. To show you the dynamic nature of it, I'm going to do something really silly. Just make the video really big, save the changes, hit refresh. Ta-da. Okay, so trying to stay on schedule. Let me stop there.
That's it. Good.
All right.
Great. That's cool. I think we'll take you up, and I would love to give it a try.
Okay, cool.
Questions, comments, criticisms, complaints? A lot of video.
Yeah, this seems great. How much does it cost?
So we're a SaaS business, and here's what I absolutely know for certain: our pricing's wrong. Right? That's what we know. So we're out there in the market anywhere from $79 a month, and then we have a vertical offering for the automotive industry that's $399 a month. So, I think for most small and medium-sized businesses, a sub $100 price point per month makes sense, and that gets you everything you see, including the mobile app when it goes live.
Cool. Comments? Seems a bit high.
Seems a bit high. Okay. There's some customer feedback.
For the ones that you upload, what happens if they're over the limit? And have you thought about, if it just rejects it, have you thought about making it so you can actually edit, so you can cut in places?
So on the webcam, on the webcam capture, there's no way to go over. So once you hit that 30-second, it stops. We have a 100 meg limit on the upload. I've got clients now that are uploading 400 or 500 meg files. They're using it internally for training purposes. So when I say that we have a bit of private label video hosting thrown in there, that's how so people don't even care about the webcam piece. They're saying, I don't want to use YouTube for internal videos for all the reasons that YouTube has some really positive things for business, but embedding YouTube videos on your site may not be the best option for some companies. So we provide that option for them. So the 100 meg limit is a soft limit. In terms of editing online, very different business, not something we're in.
Yeah, I was just wondering, how much of your business, scaling your business, is going to depend on the ability to scale the storage and the streaming infrastructure?
So we're using all the Amazon services. So we're using EC2 and S3. Frankly, it's pretty dirt cheap. In terms of the actual operational expense of this business is minimal. There's just not a lot here.
So if you're a SaaS model, what happens to the videos or when the
you're
contract?
no longer a client.
Yeah, when you're no longer a client.
Right. So in our next release, which is Friday, because we've heard that from people before, and we're not into locking people in or it's a month-to-month agreement. There's going to be a download button here, so you can download all the videos out once you're finished with us.
Does your current pricing include multiple domains? And do they have to be personal domains, or is there a developer license where you can have client domains?
So in terms of like a reseller business or affiliate business?
Well, I mean, I'm just asking, is the pricing right now for personal domains only? That's the first part of the question. The second part, if not, if you can use it for client domains, is there a different pricing structure?
Here's what I know. Let's have a discussion offline, because I know our pricing is wrong. So we'll figure it out.
Are you open to partnering with other businesses that own a portion of your target market?
It depends on what the target market is. We found that what we thought we were going to go after was this very horizontal market, right? So we're going to offer this service to everybody, and it's hard to market to everybody, as you guys probably know. So we do have the offering where anybody can use it if they want to, and we're not being specific, but we are developing some very specific vertical offerings for the automotive industry and for the real estate industry.
Okay, and one more here, top of it.
Hi, I'm John Rivlin from Band Happy. I just wanted to say,
Hey, John. All right, man. How are you?
Hello? Yeah, so we actually used the service to run a contest. We said, we sent an email to all our users and said, hey, give us a testimonial, and the ones we liked best, we'll give you a shirt or half off your next lesson or something like that. And it actually worked. I didn't know you guys had that mobile app coming out. That's killer.
So Andy and I talked about that. So these guys are awesome if you don't know anything about Band Happy. I think they presented, what, about 6 months ago?
April.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So they just got it, you should tell it, but you got to deal with the Warp Tour.
Yeah, I was going to say at the next thing. So we're on the Warp Tour now. I mean, that would be amazing to have it out there.
So Andy and I, who's their CEO, talked about it and said once we have the mobile app, they'll be able to take, so somebody just finishes a lesson in the Warp Tour booth with one of the people who was, a drummer who was just on stage. The person finishes the lesson, they can walk off and they can capture that person's excitement of what it was like to take a lesson from their favorite drummer. They can then use that for marketing purposes. They can post it to their Facebook page, etc.
Awesome. Great stuff. I'm so thrilled to see traction like this in Baltimore. So
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, now I have Nate, TeamGantt. Good stuff. Nice variety, huh? Got your dongle? Yeah. It's not a colloquial term, I really meant dongle. Oh. I was off. My microphone was off that whole time. All right. And go.
Okay, good morning. My name is Nathan Gilmore. I'm one of the co-founders from TeamGantt. My other co-founder, John Corelli, he could not be here today. I asked him if he wanted to do a little public speaking, and he decided to go camping instead. So I don't blame him. So what is TeamGantt? TeamGantt is a simple way to plan and manage a project. I don't know, are many people here familiar with Gantt charts? Probably, yeah. So this is kind of a more simple version of like a Microsoft project, and it's web-based is the big thing. One thing that, it's really different from a regular project management app that's based on task lists, especially if you need to, if you have a project that needs to finish by a certain date, see who is available to work on a given date, define an order the tasks need to be done in, or if you want to see what happens if any one task is delayed, a Gantt chart can be pretty useful. So this is something that you might have seen. This is like a screenshot Microsoft project. And a lot of people will talk about how it's complicated, it's expensive, and it's very hard to share. So in a project, there's always changes, things come up, things change, and then it can be difficult to go back and update your schedule and then email PDFs out to people, and then that PDF is instantly outdated. So what we wanted to do is create something that was simple, had an attractive design, and it was collaborative. So the collaborative, that's a big thing there. Obviously, it had to be web-based. It's got to have things like file sharing, conversations on tasks. This is something we added in a little while ago, which is pretty cool. iCal, Outlook, and Google Calendar integration. So you can actually, you have a project manager that can create all the tasks, plan the project, assign tasks to people, and those people can actually subscribe to a calendar feed. So those people that are involved in the project can just open up their Outlook or their iCal or their Google Calendar and see what tasks they have assigned to them on any particular day. And it also does things like daily email updates, so it'll send you an email in the morning saying, hey, this is what's in progress and what you can be working on today. So let's see.
TeamGantt lets you
There's a little demo
add
here.
all of your tasks for a project. Once they are entered, you can simply drag and drop each task to schedule them exactly where you want. You can also add dependencies to make sure tasks are done in the proper order. Assign resources so you can know who is needed for each task. You can also filter by resource to see all the tasks for any particular resource or team. You can also filter by date to see just tasks that are currently in progress or tasks that are due today. Congratulations, you and your team now have a plan. You can even track your progress as you go. You can communicate by commenting on tasks and optionally have those comments sent out by email. Upload files to your tasks so that they're easily accessible for you and your team whenever you need them. TeamGantt makes it so simple to plan your project, track your progress, and communicate with your team. Try TeamGantt out. We think you'll love it.
So that's a little video we have on our website that people can check out, and figured I would do that. It would be a little easier than showing an actual demo. So, so I have a couple minutes, or is that it?
No, 1 or 2. Yeah.
All right. I'll just give a real quick timeline then of TeamGantt. So we started in September of 2009. That's when we had the idea. And what we did is, to first start, I called it a free $100 Google AdWords test because we had a coupon for Google AdWords. And so what we did is we created a real, actual, ugly landing page with some pricing saying, this is what we're going to develop, this is how much it's going to cost. Would you guys be interested? We had an email form, and we got about 5 people give us their email address. So we thought, that's pretty cool. So it doesn't seem like much, but it shows some interest in the product. So then in February 2010, we had a private beta. It was still pretty ugly, actually. By then, I think we had about 50 beta users. They were just trickling in. November 2010, we officially launched. The product was getting better. We had about 1,400 beta users that we put into trial at that point, 30-day trial. And we had one customer on our first day, which was kind of weird because it was a 30-day trial, but somebody bought right away. So we were excited. And I'm out of time. I'll just show this picture. And then we had one kid right before we launched. So it was a busy time. And actually now, as of a month ago, there's 2 kids. So it's been a busy couple years. But
Did you plan that kid on your Gantt schedule? Did you? 9 months, you know.
No.
No early delivery, right? Like, milestone. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, good.
So that's kind of it. Right now, we're at we've both quit our jobs last year actually, and we've gone full time with it. And it's been a totally bootstrapped thing. We started nights and weekends, and now we're full time with it. So.
Yeah. And I just randomly came across somebody was like, I was like on some site, and they're like, oh, I use TeamGantt. I'm like,
Oh, is that
So it's like came across in the wild. So good job. So first applause on that. Sir, over here.
Have you guys thought about looking at supporting Agile with your tool at all, or are you strictly kind of focusing on traditional waterfall project management?
Probably not. We're probably not going to go that route. Agile is definitely popular in the, in the programming world and everything, but there's a lot of companies that really still use the Gantt charts. You have creative agencies that need to plan out schedules for their projects. You got manufacturing, construction. Actually, a lot of startups. I don't know if people are familiar with like Ryan Carson, Treehouse. They used it to launch Treehouse, and so it still gets used in quite a number of ways.
That's what I came across.
So what type of integration would you be supporting, or are you already supporting? Because in an enterprise environment, even in a smaller company, just having one-off tool on a web-based to manage my project, but everything else, requirements document and team and emails and everything is separate. So how do you plan to solve that issue, especially if you are targeting enterprises?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have any integrations right now, but it's something we're probably going to develop an API within the next maybe 6 to 12 months. And we'll also be integrating with some other products. Time tracking is a big thing. A lot of people want to be able to do that. So we'll be working on some integrations as well.
Great. Okay, Casey.
Now you're live, right? I mean, you're now
Yeah.
live. How many customers do you have, and what kind of pricing?
Sure. Right now we've got about 1,000 customers, and we have pricing is anywhere from $10 to $79, depending on plan per month.
It's paying the bills?
It is. It's paying the bills.
That's important.
So,
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah. Something to be said about that. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Okay, great. No, if there's no other questions, we're going to do another 5-minute things, your stretch around time. We're going to just, people have stuff to announce. Jonathan, I know you got something. You're hiding this whole, yeah. Well, let me get you the mic. Let me pass this one down this way, and I'll get you the mic that way.
Good morning. My name's Hill Andrews. I'm with Experis. I thought this would be good timing for my announcement, which is, and I made this announcement, I think 3 or 4 months ago, but I'm making it again because it was so successful. So looking for 5 junior project managers who are looking to get into a great client, international client here in Baltimore. So if you know anyone who's looking to break into the field, it's a great opportunity to kind of get your feet wet without having to be the water boy or water girl first. And also my company's looking to hire sales and recruiters as well. So come see me if you're interested in either. Thanks.
Okay, Jonathan, what's up here with this tour?
All right,
May you want to introduce yourself first? Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jonathan Rivlin. I'm one of the co-founders of BandHappy, and presented at the April Baltimore Tech Breakfast. Thank you to Ron and DLA Piper for having this event here. It's a lot closer for me. I could just walk here. So thank you. Okay, so it's been a busy 60 days, and in the time, June 16th, the Vans Warped Tour started, and couldn't really talk about it when I presented in April because the deal wasn't quite done yet. So what's happening is Vans Warped Tour started a venture fund for music-related startups, and we're their pilot project. So we have this 20 by 20 foot BandHappy music lessons tent that's going to be at all 41 dates for the tour. And all these musicians from the tour are teaching lessons, and it's insane. It's the first time in the 18-year history of this famous tour that they've ever done anything like this, and it's selling out every single day.
Wow.
And it's keeping me very busy. That's why I wasn't at last month's Tech Breakfast. Sorry about that. So anyway, the Vans Warped Tour is coming to our town, Columbia, Maryland. I think it's July 24th. So get a ticket, bring your kids, and check it out. And stop by and say hi. Andy and I will be there. What else? Oh, and so also in the last time, let's see, we were featured in the Baltimore Sun, Baltimore Magazine, Inc. Magazine, Modern Drummer Magazine with my partner Matt Halpern's face all over the cover. And we were just on TV was it last night or 2 nights ago in one of the California-based affiliates of Fox News. So
awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
Baltimore represent. Awesome.
Hi, I'm Daniel Waldman. My company is Evolve Communications. We're actually a new sponsor of the B2B. And earlier this year, we launched Rocket Packs for Startups. We're a PR and marketing firm. And basically what Rocket Packs is 3 different levels of low-cost, affordable marketing and PR tools designed specifically for startups. Some of our clients in the area includes 410 Labs, Bizello, Parking Panda, and WooFound. So if you're interested in talking more about PR for your company or marketing for your company, I hope I'll have a chance to chat with you. Thanks.
Great. Yeah, you can pass it up here to Kenan up front. Okay, great. One more, and then another one, and then I got something to show you. Yep.
Morning. My name is Tom Stack. I work with Tech Systems in Baltimore. We just started a regional Microsoft delivery team. It's my job for Baltimore and DC to focus on Microsoft technologies, .NET, SharePoint, and SQL. So I'm really just looking to network with professionals like yourselves that work in those skill sets and learn a little bit more about Microsoft. Thank you.
Great. Good job. Kenan?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kenan Fort from York, Pennsylvania. My marketing identity is King of Facilitating because I build strategic alliances and joint venture partnerships. Just one of my current projects is working with the company behind the social media magazines, new magazines at socialmediamags.com, company owned by Jay Abraham. Currently, we have a Be the Media campaign going whereby you can own your own magazine that's completely done for you. Imagine what your prospects and people that are interested in what you have would see your image on the front cover with quality individuals like this. So talk to me.
Great. Okay, cool. I want to share one thing with you guys. If you remember, we asked the question, what's the zip code of where you live and what's the zip code of where you work? And also when you register for Meetup, you indicate your location. Between all of that, we got a little bit of interesting information I wanted to share with you. The first is, it's interesting, we actually have some members of our Meetup that are not in the United States. We have one person from Chile, Santiago, Chile, one person from the United Kingdom, a couple of people from California, and a smattering in the Middle Coast, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's just, I'm not really expecting them to attend, but kudos to you. Who here is from Santiago, Chile? Because I will give you the reward for longest traveled. But let's focus on the big block there. 600 and so we have 624 members or something like that of our Meetup, which is pretty awesome. First of all, 610 of them are that big pie right there in Maryland. So let's zoom in a little bit on that. Even among that, we have some folks who travel. I know we have Philly. These are you guys from technically Philly. We had a couple people from New York. Is anybody here coming down from New York? Because kudos to you, braving that traffic, 8 o'clock in the morning. We have actually a nice collection of folks from DC. How many people are coming up from DC for this event? Nobody here this time? Okay, one or two, which is great. And a bunch of folks up from, so getting a little closer, a bunch of folks from Columbia. Columbia? Okay, now here's the thing about Columbia. We've had a lot of interest in Columbia, and we're working with Gloria at the Howard County Economic Development Alliance, EDA. Maryland Center for Entrepreneurship. And one of the things we're looking at doing is we're looking at opening up a second location for our tech breakfast down in Columbia. And this is in August, so we're going to put out an announcement about that. If you're down in the Columbia area and you're interested in doing a showcase, we don't want it to cannibalize too much from Baltimore. So we're going to have it on a different date. They won't overlap. If you're interested in coming to both, you can definitely come to both. For those of you that could never make it to the Baltimore one and want to make it to Columbia one, we're going to try to open a second location. So that should be pretty exciting. That was really the primary purpose for doing this, is to kind of see where our folks are coming from. Zooming in a little bit more, most of you are actually coming from kind of roughly equivalent, actually north and south of the city. You see a lot of folks from Reisterstown, Towson, as well as the city. And this is where we asked folks, my font in the top got a little wonky. We asked you where you live. Most of you live, for those of you that are coming here, this is for the folks that answered the questions in the profile, where do I live and where do I work? Most of you are coming either from the city of Baltimore or in the Reisterstown area. So nice little chunk of the folks, a few folks from Columbia. But a lot of you actually work farther south. So that was the big interesting to us. A lot of you work north, live north, work south. There are a bunch of folks who are from Frederick. How many of you are here from Frederick? There are a few of you. And it seems like there's a lot of interest down there. So we're keeping an eye on that. Just thought you'd be interested to know. Paris is here. We're still trying to get some answers. So she's actually got the badges for you. She was unable to make it. She was unfortunately in a car accident this morning. Sorry, Paris. Sorry. But she's got some badges for you. Maybe during the next round, she'll see if she can go around. Please see her. If you haven't answered those 2 questions, she's going to write them down, and we'll put them in the spreadsheet, and then we'll get some better answers in case maybe somebody meant Santiago, like Maryland. Is there a Santiago, Maryland? No. Okay. Without further ado, let's continue with the show. We have our folks here. Ben, right? No, yes, you're up next, right? And let me just replug you in to the thingamahoos. Dingle whopper. And bada bing. Oh, do you have to flip it?
Yeah, I got to open it.
Okay. All right.
Let's see if it wakes up. Okay. So no slides. Just want to talk a little bit about Firejack Technologies. I'm Ben Miller. I'm the CEO and founder of the company. And we've been really quietly doing business out of Columbia, Maryland since March of last year. So we're pretty young. And really what we have focused on is we have a lot of people on our team that have worked with a lot of different organizations. And what we found is that if you are trying to do business online, or you're trying to produce an offering online, or you're just trying to deal with data, today everything is about the platform. And what that means is you've got data, you've got content, you've got media you need to deal with, you need to get that out, you need to integrate with things, you have to be ready to integrate with web devices, with mobile devices, and this is extremely costly, it takes time, you have to have the right expertise, you have to pick a technology and a stack. And every day, we know that there are projects out there that are awesome, and they are just falling on their face because they miss, one of the 5 major things that you have to have: talent, infrastructure, planning. Something goes wrong for all the wrong reasons. So what we've tried to do is we have built a product that automates the creation of a complete online software platform in a few days. It creates the stack for you. You can go from 0 to a working, clustered, running system that supports developer APIs, working web applications. It's mobile ready in no time. And we can sit down with customers and do this in a matter of hours. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump in and kind of show you our product. We've made our first kind of official public launch of our product in April of this year. We're now working on version 1.4, which is our follow-up to the version that we launched in April. And I'm just going to kind of jump in and show you what I did on an alpha server today in 20 minutes. So we basically stood up a new server, installed our platform, threw up kind of a goofy idea for a way that people can share notes online about different subjects, and built a complete working web application in 20 minutes that is completely web service enabled and ready to deal with mobile devices. So this is the OpenFlame homepage. Again, OpenFlame installs itself in about 10 minutes. And you come in and it's already ready with Google login, Facebook login, Twitter login, which is also available to your applications that you build, so you don't have to spend any time doing that kind of integration. I log in and I come to the web-based management console, which sort of has my whole enterprise laid out for me. And for me, I started by saying, I want to start this site called mystudypartner.com, and I just want people to be able to share notes on different subjects together and collaborate. And I don't have a great idea about what I want to do yet, but I'm thinking, I'm going to have subjects and subject areas, and then I'm going to have notes. Let's start with that. Let's get that working so I can enter data and mess with the data, and then we'll go from there. So OpenFlame kind of lets you come in and visually tell us what your data looks like. I've got these subject areas. Areas define specific subject areas that are universally known, such as math and science. I come in and I say, hey, these just have names. They're really simple, look up data. Then you can see that when I created that, it automatically created the basic operations I need to deal with that data. And then I have a subject, which is a little more elaborate. Again, like everything you're seeing is auto-created. These are subjects that are actually entered by students who want to share information. You're going to be able to find stuff that's already there. And I'm just describing kind of like the business idea in conceptual terms. And then I describe the kind of information I want. These are just names and descriptions. And then I have notes. And at some point, when I feel I have enough, I've also explained relationships in the software. Like notes are related to subjects. Subjects are related to areas in these ways. I can come in and literally say, hey, let's generate code for this application. And it generates a deployable working database, a working web application, working web services that have developer documentation and they're completely secure. You can also control all the security from this console. There's about 100 different features built into the console that you would normally have to build yourself. User management, authorization management, data level security management. And then, and really we try to focus on understanding that really the platform is the core of your business. Web applications are reasonably easy to build. Designers can throw together JavaScript that's sexy. If you have a working back-end application that can track your data, process your data, you can access mobile phones, you can integrate, you have won at that point, right? You can hire almost anybody to help you with the rest. We're trying to automate that process so you can focus on your business. Once again, the generation process also bakes your stuff into this nice little browsable web application that shows the documentation of how your platform actually works to your developers. So here we've got what My Study Partner is all about. Here's our platform, kind of describes the main platform. Here's the common data area, describes what the common data area is. Here's an area. It's like, hey, we have these things called areas. Here's what they're all about. They're related to subjects, by the way, and here's how. Here's all the operations I can support. Well, if you want to create a subject, here's how you do it. Wham, here's a REST example. Just hit that URL and create a subject right away, right? All this was auto-generated in 15 minutes with the platform. all I did was tell it what my data looked like. And then at the very end, I get to come in, and if I come back to the kind of domain manager, and once again, I open my domain, I open my package, you can see that, hey, my platform is actually deployed at this URL. And I have a working, ready to go, browsable web application that has all my data in it. I can come in and see all the subjects I've entered. I can see I've got a couple of subjects in there. I can add a new subject. Hey, college algebra. And then I pick a subject area, and I say it's a math class, and I save it. And now I've got college algebra as a subject, and now I can come into study, and I can look at a note. I've got a whole database of notes, a couple of notes in here, and I can say, you know what, I can kind of type in a headline, you know, starting algebra today, etc., and pick the subject. And you can even do multiple subjects if you want, if it's related to multiple subjects. And there you have it. So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
Great.
All right.
Good stuff. So, the business, I know I'm interested. So it's got the word open in it. Is it an open source platform? Is it closed? Talk a little about pricing, license, blah, blah, blah.
So OpenFlame is completely built on open source technology. So nothing that we package with our stuff costs anything. Our platform does cost something. We do enterprise licensing for anywhere from $2,000 for an annual license to $25,000 to $50,000. That is completely based on your expected transaction volume. And once you licensed it for your expected transaction volume, if you're going to install it in-house, you have free reign to install it anywhere within your walls as much as you want. We don't believe in per-user pricing. We don't believe in hardware-based pricing. We say, look, if you're going to use it X amount, you pay what that's worth to you, and you get it. We're also doing a lot of hosting for early on kind of consumers, where we can stand up a hosted environment in development for $100 a month. We can scale it all the way up to $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month if you're doing millions and millions of transactions a day. It really just depends on, it's really all about how many transactions you're putting through the system. So we try and make it extremely affordable. Under the covers, every piece of code that we generate is exactly the same code that a good engineer would write, and there's almost nothing proprietary minus a few basic kind of bootstrap frameworks that we interject ourselves to interface with the platform services. Everything the console does is also web service enabled in REST and in SOAP, and you have that completely open API. So if you want to do things that our platform is doing for yourself, you just use the developer APIs.
Questions? Hey, Jason, how you doing? You got a mic back there? Good.
Is it on? Ben, great presentation. Quick question for I mean, is a use case for your technology for an entrepreneur, especially someone who's not a programmer, to be able to prototype an idea and then use that to you know, present to a programmer when they're ready to scale?
Yeah, so again, our stuff, so yeah, that does work. And what we typically do is we actually interface with people. We'll help them we're doing a lot of this work where we do 30 days from concept to reality. And we'll work with somebody alongside them, provide consulting services, and for a few $1,000s, we'll get a prototype that's extremely impressive and, you know, has all these features built in and does all these integrations, really from concept to reality. Underneath the covers, the software that's generated here is world-class software. I would put it up against anyone's software. It's the same software that, you know, if you hired serious engineers to write it, it would look like this. It should look like this. It's using Hibernate underneath Spring, typical Java-based technologies that you know, big organizations struggle to get right. There's built-in scaling, and so hopefully you won't have to switch gears once you prototype something, right? You prototype, you stick with that technology, you move forward. We're working with a ton of people that have done the prototype thing, spent a year on it, and now they need to reinvent, right? They basically need to go back to formula to have a real platform because they want to go mobile, or they want to go iPad, or they want to go both, right? And they don't have the underlying platform from the beginning, so.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we're almost there. We're winding down a little bit. We got one more to go. It's Terrance MacGregor at Cowtrip. First of all, thank you. Give you applause. And you're rounding it out. He sent an email to everybody. He's like, don't be too exciting. Don't be too entertaining because I'm last. So it's all you now to bring us all back. How are we doing on coffee? Yeah, good? Great. So, still tap dance.
One moment, please.
Guys, thing. This is my presentation of train going through tunnel at night. Like, okay. Oh, there you go. Got him your mouse. So just doing
Right. I'm trying to build the anticipation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
1 second. Hang.
Sneak peek. That was presentation going through tunnel at night. Oh, subliminal messaging, yeah. Well, good. While you're queuing it up, might as well talk a little bit. We have a great. How many of you are planning on registering? Actually, I'd like to say how many of you registered for the July one, but it's actually not been posted yet. But we have a pretty awesome lineup for our July one as well. It's going to be here, so DLA hasn't kicked us out yet, which is great. Looks like we're at about capacity, but I see a couple of empty seats, so that means that we still have room here. We haven't busted out capacity yet. We have, I just want to do a little shout out here, Kendrick, DJ 5-Star, whose STEM is going to be headlining next one, and it's going to be loud, hopefully. Wake you all up in the morning with a little awesome DJ action, thank you. And education while it's going on with entertainment. We have a few other folks. Let me see the lineup for the next one, but it's going to be great. Actually, I don't remember it offhand, but we have quite a few people doing it. I know that for August we have a lineup. So if you're interested in doing it, I only have 2 of the 4. We have 6 showcases. I've got July fully booked. We have 2 of the 6 booked for August. So if you're interested in doing something, you have a really cool thing. We love demos. Demos are better than slides. So send me an email, come up to me afterwards, let me know so I can put you on our August agenda. And of course, we're also looking for August folks for the Columbia one that's coming up. So without further ado, back to the Cowtrip.
Great. Well, I prepared a bunch of slides that I won't be able to show today, so I'm going to jump right into the demo. My name is Terrance MacGregor. I am the CEO and co-founder of Cowtrip.com. Commuting sucks, but it doesn't have to. The whole purpose behind this app is to mitigate the pain that people experience commuting. Commuting is a fact of life. Unless you live in this building, you guys had to drive here, sit in traffic, go over the river and through the woods. It's an extremely depressing topic. So actually, I paid Ron to set up all those stats before I did my topic here. But so let me just give you guys a quick overview about why I chose this topic to throw all my time into. I'm a father. I have 3 children. I hate commuting. And one day I sat down and I plugged it all out, and I looked at how many quality hours I had with my kids, and it was something like 35 minutes a night, and I was driving 2 hours a day, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I looked out for tools. I couldn't find anything. I worked from home for a while, but now I'm starting to commute again, and I said enough. So I decided to make this app, and this is the story. I'll take you guys through it. as you can see, the idea behind this is that as you drive and you commute, it's very, you know, you can see the cow gets angrier. There's a threshold, there's an imaginary threshold at about 25 minutes where your quality of life starts to decrease. This is based on some Swedish studies. Well, all right, let me back up a little. Let me take you through the app and I'll explain as we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and log in. And what you're gonna see here is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people understand the cost-benefit analysis. When people go buy a house out in the suburbs, they're like, hey, I'm gonna go out here, it's gonna be great. Oh, my commute's only 35 minutes. But what are you really giving up? Nobody really asked, well, maybe people do in this room, but I didn't fully ask that question, and I've paid the price. So a big part of this, as you see, you know, when you come in here, you're gonna update your profile. Okay, so I travel about 25 miles, 42 minutes each way. This is a made-up hourly rate. And I have this concept of hidden in public search, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so save and calculate. The first thing you're gonna see is you get this concept of a commuting score. Mine's a 4.9. The cow's not very happy. And he also gives you some kind of suggestions about what you should be doing with your life, whether you want it or not. So some of the analytics that I really wanted to hammer home were, you know, the financial aspects. You know, what does the mileage cost? That's like a typical one you see on all sorts of things, but also this potential income. You know, as you're driving, you know, if you're driving, you know, an hour one way, both ways, 5 days a week, you know, that's a lot of money that you're missing out on. Time is, you know, is another typical factor. The social impact is, there's a professor at Harvard, Robert Putnam. He wrote a book about bowling alone, how people become disconnected from their communities, disconnected from their neighbors. So this is a big part of what we're trying to do is highlight that. You know, your fewer chances of having social bonds in your community. Sun exposure. Recently on CNN, there's a guy, a trucker. I don't know if anyone has seen this or not. I had the visual, but I cut it out. But half his face is all sunburned. So, you know, as I was driving, I remember getting sunburn on my arms, like as I was doing my commuting. And I thought, this is terrible. So we have this we have this experimental metric in here: sun exposure, things that happen to you, carbon footprint, more standard things. Like this is what you're using per year, and this is what happens when you commute. I mean, when you carpool with somebody else, how you drop it. And this is probably one of the cooler ones. This is this concept of weight impact. There are tremendous studies out there about, you know, being sedentary. So when you're in your car, your metabolic rate drops down dramatically. And that's about as much as I'm going to get into science. So I can't compete with the first presentation. So that's the concept of the dashboard. It's really to highlight the true value, the true thing that's happening with your commute. Another concept we have too is we wanted to get this data accurate. So, for example, when you're driving, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, my commute, it takes me 15 minutes," but it doesn't take that long. A lot of times it takes longer than that, or sometimes it's shorter. But usually, you know, I always wanted a way to track this because maybe I'm anal retentive, but I used to write it down on a piece of paper because I wanted to know how much time I was really gone. So we wrote an app, a mobile app that will track, you know, it uses geocoding. So when you drive and you get to your work, it turns off automatically, uploads to the server. And there's some interesting things that we're going to do with that. You're going to see what we're going to do here when I talk about the herd, kind of see where we're going with this. We have this concept of the herd. So you're driving to work every day, and one of the things that we're thinking that, you know, to increase your social, you know, value on your commute is, of course, you want to carpool with somebody it's probably like-minded. So what we came up with, and this is a beta, we launched this a couple weeks ago, is this concept of, hey, you want to search for not only where you work, but it's where you live. So we have these filters set up where you have this work and home location, and users can pop up. And let's say this guy over here, these are clouds of uncertainty where we kind of mask where the users are. And we have this concept of escalating trust, which we're going to start building, you know, once we have a good understanding of who our users are. So the concept here is, let's say, oh, this guy, you know, this is, you know, I live right here, and this is, oh, this guy looks really good. Let me see if he's good. So you send them a goofy email, right? And you would say, hey, look, I'm not an axe murderer. Here's my information. And you would start to connect with this guy. And that's kind of the concept that we're building, is this herd. You know, you're building your own herd. You're building your team of people. So when you're spending that time in a car, it's not as isolating, and that social impact is not as devastating. Okay, so that's kind of where we are right now. Where we're going in the future, I think a lot of what we're doing is going to lend itself to the concept of job creation. You know, if you're driving, you know, if you're looking at your commute and you're driving this distance, you know, you're driving right by a perfectly good employer every day, you know, it becomes a lot easier for you to find another job. You know, or maybe you'll see the scores pop up. Instead of seeing you know, you're working at a 4.9 job, well, all of a sudden you have a 9.5 job come up. And it's that kind of concept of employers posting jobs, and that's one of the things that we're looking at is jobs. All right.
That was good.
Okay.
That was great. That's good.
All right.
I didn't want to cut you off. I know it's in beta. Have you thought about sort of the business side of it?
Yes. One thing we looked at doing was the concept of a company dashboard. So let's say you're an HR company and you want to say, hey, look, where are my employees coming from? You know, so it's allowing this dashboard so you can see, you know, what everyone's scores are. Maybe you can say, well, this guy, he's terrible. He's got a 2. Maybe we want to have him telecommute one day a week, you know, to try and raise that score up. That's kind of one of the angles we're looking at.
That's great. You know, and we have a couple of recruiters here in the room. I mean, would this be a useful tool for you guys? Maybe it'd be interesting. Would it be worthwhile maybe to even have them like post job opportunities on Cowtrip to say like, look, if you're struggling with, I don't know, that's just the first thought that comes to mind. I don't know what the recruiters think about that, but it might be a cool idea. Well, any questions or comments or criticisms, complaints? Wow.
Do you have an app? Yes.
You mean mobile app?
Android only, though.
Okay.
So.
Wow, we are not in Cupertino. Yes. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Because we're recording this.
As a mother, this would be great to provide to the schools, because you know then we know where everybody is and how we can share the carpooling with the kids. So that'd be good for college kids too.
Oh, that's
private schools, right? Especially.
That's great. I never thought about the carpooling for kids. Cowpooling for kids.
Let me.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
There's also a big movement among women's networking. It's curious that you're a guy up here doing this, but the work balance.
Rumor has it, right?
Because it's a big issue with women and working and the work balance, the work-life balance or work-life fit is what it's evolving to. So you've got opportunities with business women's networking here.
Oh, I didn't even think about that part. I was going to put things in here like you could put in your car. So if you have a Prius or a Suburban, you know, you could see what the different, you know, you could dig in a little bit. I didn't think about how that would affect a mother, you know, with children. It could be something that we add.
Go back. Yeah.
I think if you could hook up businesses with commercial real estate, you could say like, hey, do you know you have 50 employees commuting from this area, and for this much a month, you could have a satellite office. You know, that might actually work.
Ah, that's a good one.
Go ahead.
Didn't think about that.
Yep. Good, Paris.
That's good.
Good.
All right.
Yeah. No, get you guys.
I just want to say, I don't care what your app does. I just think your cow is so cute. I would use
Oh,
that was cute.
Thank you.
It's on.
Hi, I'm Paris. I'm a recruiter, so I'm going to tack on to Ron's comment, actually. You can probably integrate data, like a zip code data from Indeed or another engine like that, very similar. That would just help. So for instance, I mean, right there on that map, you could have like a star jobs here kind of a deal. I don't know.
That's a great idea. Indeed is a role model for job posting. That would be a smart move for us.
He's going. Oh, yeah, he has one. Yeah.
Hey, just a comment. Company I used to work for years ago on the West Coast used to provide benefits to employees who carpooled. So I don't know if that's something that an employer might want to use to help do that. But just thinking more from the social aspect,
you could get a group of companies in a certain area who wouldn't necessarily share data about their employees together, might be able to do this to create a carpooling community for that business park or something like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, and I think that, you know, getting, like, for example, I don't think guys care as much about this, but the whole axe murderer thing, I think that it's more like it's really women. Like, so the person who does all of our social media for this, she's the one I talk to all the time. Like, what do you think about this? She's like, I wouldn't use that. You know, I wouldn't do it, because that's like. And what one conclusion that we came up with is that we think that that trusted business network is the right place to grow this properly. So I think your comments are right on.
Okay, Matt, that's good.
For transportation companies, people that or even potentially Department of Transportations who manage buses, hey, we have a lot of people going from the suburbs to downtown Baltimore, effective routes and usage points.
That's another really good thing. I was thinking, sorry, I wanted to add to that. I think that one thing that I always had this concept, and my wife used to make fun of me for this, is this concept that, you know, everybody is a mini bus. And what I wanted to do was allow people to make money. You know, if you're seeing this commute, you could link up. So that's always something else that I was thinking about. So thank you.
Good.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a recruiter, definitely a great tool, and I love the idea and concept as well. Before I got into recruiting, I worked for Baltimore County, and just one of the biggest challenges with Baltimore is public transportation system and getting from, you know, where a lot of people live to jobs without a car.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, you know, another possible avenue would be, you know, government type agencies who are having challenges getting folks from certain areas to workplaces where there's no public transportation. So another link there as well.
Great. Good.
Wow.
For those folks that do have cars.
I'm glad this is being video recorded so I can go back and play all this.
Yeah, this is good.
Back.
Yeah, thank you. Open range. One or two more comments, and then.
Okay, on the heels of the lousy public transportation system in Baltimore, the U.S. Green Building Council that is involved with LEED certified buildings has points for, you know, being green. And since we have such a lousy system around here, maybe that could be, you know, a regional application. The other thing is, I think the cow, or let me ask you this, could the cow have green spots?
Oh, yes. Give me a day or two.
Otherwise, it looks. Okay, Jonathan, I guess that's the last.
I had another idea. You should do a JV with the guy from Hahler, so you can have a designated cow.
Oh. A designated cow.
And then link up with the guys from Authntk and get people to talk about it on their mobile apps.
Good job. Well, I have to say, you know, it's one of the more unique ones. You know, in a world where there's a lot of photo sharing and social and mobile apps that kind of like start to all blend together, this is definitely one of the unique ones, and I'm just so thrilled that it's here in Baltimore. And your commute from that was your point all the way up there north, right? In northern Baltimore,
yeah.
in Hampstead. So I feel your pain. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, well, that was Baltimore Tech Breakfast. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. As mentioned, you know, we're looking for, if you got something you share, love demos. Actually, it was great that the PowerPoint wasn't working, because I honestly think a demo is worth 1,000,000 PowerPoints. People love to see that stuff. So this is the kind of stuff we love seeing. If it's a project, it doesn't have to be a company. You're working on something, it's a hobby. It doesn't have to be software. You know, we've had folks in space tech, we've had bio, obviously. We have lots of different industries. Just tech and innovation in general. If you got something to show, we'd love to have you here. You guys have as much time, I guess, as you need here. They're not going to kick us out until 10-something, so please hang out. Eat all the bagels. They're paid for. Thanks. How did it work out?
Hey.
Nice job.
Yeah,
Where do you commute to?
Well, right, I've been working from home for the to build this, so I took some time off of work.
Oh, good for you.
I love your card and your personality. You crack me up.
Yeah, you got a card too?
I don't know. So
who drew the cow?
It was a friend of mine. So I looked at a lot of different cows, and I got very picky with it. So
impressive. Well, look me up on LinkedIn.
I will definitely look you up. I'll send you a LinkedIn invitation when I get back.
Great job.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much. No, I haven't. Sure. Okay. I don't have a card. Another company here called in Baltimore Parking Panda. I think it's a great time. And now you can have pads all over. You have to pay, but that's okay. I mean, it's better. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Jonathan. Thank you, sir.
Down here. Lady.
Terry. Oh, thank you.
Opportunity. Up on that website.
Okay, thanks for the question. I appreciate that too. All right, thank you.
Knock it out of the park, man. You were like, they say the best for last.
Totally unsmooth. What are you talking
No,
about?
that was great, man. You like.
Thanks, David. David, my video guy just kind of backed out, so I think we got a great
Cards. Did you bring some cards too?
What's that?
Do you have cards or no?
No, I don't. Sorry.
So I got another idea. You could connect with residential realtors.